डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Hello friends, you are welcome to Indian Poetics on Sarodaya, Samajik and Sadharanikaran. These three new concepts are very important in Indian poetics. Sarodaya is a sensitive reader, sensitive bhavak, who experiences what the creative artist has written or expressed. Samajik is a participant viewer when he watches a drama, tragedy or comedy. He experiences the same experiences with the performer, the actor, expresses or presents. And Sadharanikaran is generalization, universalization, the concept of being together, experiencing the same thing, and it is a model of communication. Now let us discuss this in detail. Rasa theory evokes emotions, and Abhinav Gupta has said that poetry lives by rasa alone. Now we know that Abhinav Gupta, who says that poetry exists, poetry lives by rasa alone. Anandavardhan said that alankaras are external embellishment of the body of poetry. They are like ornaments. But rasa is the soul of poetry. Alankaras are external and rasa is internal. Alankaras are something which embellishes the body of poetry, but rasa is the soul of poetry. Now, the most important topic which we are discussing today is Sarodaya. Sarodaya is a reader, bhavak, who has a great importance in Indian poetics. Actually, in English, we use the word reader. Reader may be or may not be bhavak, but bhavak is one who experiences the same bhavas which the creative artist has expressed. And that is why bhavak is very important. And that is why bhavak is called Sarodaya. The word Sarodaya means similar hearted, one who has the same kind of heart like the creative artist. He is very kindred, full of kindness, very sensitive and very appreciative. Poet's heart finds its fulfillment in Sarodaya only. And Sarodaya is one in whose heart the poet can fulfill himself, can enter into his heart and make him feel what he or she has felt. Rasikajana is one who responds and experiences aesthetic delight. And there is in Sanskrit another word called Rasikajana. The word Rasik comes from rasa. One who experiences rasa is called rasika, and rasika jana means one who is a person with rasa. He responds and experiences aesthetic delights. He responds to art, poetry, literature, dance, music, and experiences aesthetic delight. Poet and Saradaya are two aspects of single entity called art. Now look at this figure which shows that art has two aspects, poet and Saradaya. Art is expressed by poet and Saradaya experiences it. These two aspects are very important in art. If there is no Saradaya, then the poet has no meaning. Only reader response, Saradaya response is necessary. Sarasvatatva, truth of poetry, dwells in both poet and Saradaya. The truth of poetry dwells in the heart of the poet and also in the heart of Saradaya. What the poet experiences, Saradaya experiences. There is abheda, there is no difference, but identity is there between poet and Saradaya. This concept is very important, that truth of poetry reaches the heart of the Saradaya, and what poet had experienced is experienced by the Saradaya. Kavi is Saradaya with a difference, and Saradaya is a Kavi with a difference. Now this idea is very important, that Kavi is also Saradaya, but with a difference. He is a creative artist, but he is Saradaya. And Saradaya is a Kavi with a difference. Saradaya is also like a Kavi, but he is different. Different in the sense that he is not a creative artist, but he experiences the same experiences, the same feelings, the same emotions which the Kavi, the poet, has undergone. R.A. Scott James, in his book, The Making of Literature, says that a critic, Saradaya, is also like the creative artist. He walks on the same path like the artist when he reads the book. R.S. Scott James says that critic, of course he uses the word critic, but from Indian poetics point of view, we can take it as Saradaya, because a good critic should not be only critical, should not be only one who finds faults, but he should be Saradaya, sensitive, and with the same sensitivity he reads the book, he responds to the creative art, and he is also like a creative artist. He walks on the same path like the artist when he reads the book. And a Saradaya, a critic, also experiences the same thing, the same emotions and same feelings like the artist. So in a way, a critic or a Saradaya is also like Kavi, and Kavi is also like Saradaya. R.S. Scott James gives the example of a road building. When a road is built by road maker, and when an engineer or an expert walks on the road to check it, he undergoes the same experience, how the road is made, and he not only checks but feels how the road is made. So this kind of experience is another journey by the critic. The critic or the Saradaya undergoes the same experience which the creative artist has undergone. Rajshekhar says that there are two kinds of pratibha: karayatri, creative, and bhavayatri, response, imagination. Now, according to Rajshekhar, there are two kinds of pratibha: karayatri, that is creative, that is for the artist, that is for the poet, and bhavayatri is a response, imagination, which is in saradaya, in a good bhavak. So bhavayatri is a quality of a bhavak, and karayatri, who creates, is a creative artist. So in a way, poet and saradaya are indivisible. They are the same thing. Though they are different, they have the same experience. And without saradaya, poet cannot be appreciated properly. Bharat enumerated 49 bhavas. Sthai bhava means stable. And Bharat says that through the amalgamation of vibhava, anubhava and sanchari bhava, rasa is manifested. Now Bharat Muni in his Natya Shastra discusses 49 bhavas, and he says that sthai bhavas are the stable innate bhavas, and he says that through the amalgamation, combination of vibhav, anubhav and sanchari bhava, rasa can be manifested, rasa can be experienced by the bhavak. Abhinav Gupta gives reference to the karuna rasa, compassion, in the hearts of the samajika. Then there is another important word called samajika. Of course, as a general meaning, the word samajik means social. But here in Indian poetics, it has a different kind of meaning which refers to participant viewer. Abhinav Gupta says that Karun Ras is experienced by the samajik in his heart. Samajik is a participant viewer. When you watch a drama, a tragedy, if you experience the same sorrow, grief, tragedy, you are a participant viewer. And participant viewer feel grief as presented by the performer or the actor. Here, of course, samajik is connected with performance of the drama rather than that of the poet. When an actor or a performer performs on the stage, the participant viewers feel grief. Even today, when we watch a film or a drama, we experience the same feeling, same grief. Grief is connected with Karuna Rasa, and Karuna Rasa is one of the most important rasas. Of course, in Sanskrit literature, Sanskrit poetics, Karun Ras was not highlighted, but it has been very important in poetics or in literature all over the world. In Greek literature, tragic drama or tragic plays are very important. And even Shakespeare became famous not only for comedies but mainly for tragedies. And participant viewers always feel grief or sorrow, and they pass through, they undergo the sorrow, the suffering of the hero, of the performer or the actor. Vibhavas are like death of loved ones, separation from beloved. Now, Vibhava is a kind of happening, an event. For example, if the loved one, kith or kin, dies, or there is a separation from the beloved, Viyoga, it is called Vibhava. And Sthai Bhavas are manifested in the hearts of Samajika. When the Samajika watches the death of the beloved ones on the stage, of course the beloved of the actor or the hero or the heroine, or the separation from the beloved, such events, such happenings are called Vibhavas. And Vibhavas create the same feeling. And then Sthai Bhava, which is Shoka, grief, shok, is the Sthai Bhava in the heart of every person, but Samajik experiences it immensely. Abhinav Gupta says that Sthai Bhavas are dormant in human mind. In our human mind, in our chitta, certain Sthai Bhavas are dormant. They are always there. The 9 major rasas dwell in our mind, like Shoka, Krodha, Sringara, Rati. So all these are the parts of our mind. They are stable, dormant, and they are evoked when Vibhavas and Anubhava and Sanchari Bhava are amalgamated. In a child's mind, there are not many desires like the adult people. From psychological point of view, we can understand that a child doesn't have many experiences, and that is why his desires are limited, while the desires of adults are limitless. The more adult you become, the more desires you cultivate. And that is why Trishna, desires, keep people very unhappy. Children are happier because they do not have many desires. Their desires are very limited. They have desires for toys, for food, for the love of mother and father, but very few, very limited desires are there. While human beings, adult human beings, have limitless desires. Modern psychological concept says that there are 3 parts of mind: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Actually, in human mind, there are 3 divisions: conscious, Jagrut, subconscious, Ardha Jagrut, and unconscious, Ajagrut. Conscious mind is the mind which is, for example, now I am speaking, I am explaining it to you. Now I speak consciously. Unconsciously I cannot speak. I speak consciously. Subconscious is inner mind, which when you think about something, other thoughts also gather together. These thoughts are your experiences from childhood. It is even the memory is a part of subconscious mind. And unconscious is even beyond subconscious. It is believed that as a human being, even Indian theory of Punarjanma can be applied to it, that Purva Janma and Punarjanma. Our memory is not the memory of our own, but it is the memory of the entire humanity. Homo sapiens, actually for thousands and thousands of years, human beings have lived on the earth, whom Yuval Harari says Homo sapiens. These Homo sapiens are in our mind also, unconscious mind. So that is a psychological concept which should be understood. Sadharanikaran refers to commonness. The word sadharan means common, general. So it means sadharanikaran means commonness, oneness, universalization and generalization. It is a model of communication. It represents communication process. It's a process of mutual understanding. Now, Sadharanikaran is a model of communication. When we communicate something, there is the concept of Sadharanikaran works there. There is something common between the speaker and the listener, between the actor and the audience. It is a process of mutual understanding. When now, for example, now I am speaking to you, you understand my language, you understand some ideas which you have already in your mind. So we have a mutual understanding. It is a process of communication, and it is because of Sadharanikaran. There is a commonness between your mind and my mind, between what I say and what you hear. So you must understand that Saradayata is the core concept on which Sadharanikaran is based. In Sadharanikaran, Saradayata is important. Sensitivity is important. Appreciativeness is important. And Sadharanikaran is based on Saradayata. So when senders or actors, sender means one who sends the message or speaks something, is a sender, or actor is a sender, and receiver is audience. And when the actor says something, the audience experiences oneness. What the actor says, the audience experiences. And that experience is the experience of commonness, of oneness, of universalization. And for that, Saradayata is important. Saradayata in the heart of the audience is very important. Saradaya is bhavak. with profound sensitivity. He or she is appreciative and possesses capacity to recreate the experience of creative artist. Sahriday is a bhavak who has profound sensitivity, and he or she is appreciative and he or she has capacity to recreate the experience of the creative artist. He possesses the status of the creator. And as I told you earlier, a Sahriday also has the status of the creator. He is like a creator. He walks on the same path where the Sarjak creator has walked. He experiences the process of creativity and achieves aesthetic delight. And Sahriday experiences the process of creativity also, how the creative artist created his creation or creative work. He experiences it and achieves aesthetic delight. Sahriday is a person of taste, relish, sensitivity, and appreciative nature. So Sahriday is a person who has ruchi, taste, relish, swad, sensitivity, and appreciative nature. He possesses artistic talent and bhavayatri pratibha. He also has artistic talent and bhavayatri pratibha, which is emotional response. Anand Kumar Swami said that the heart of the true bhavak should be mellowed, that melts immediately. Anand Kumar Swami said that Sahriday bhavak should have melting heart. His heart should not be hard. His heart should be soft. It should be like, Lord Rama in Uttar Charita says that the heart should be soft like a flower. And bhavak has a mellowed heart and it melts immediately. Wordsworth defined poetry as emotions recollected in tranquility. And Wordsworth said that emotions are not only when you experience them, but you can recollect them. And you also experience recollected emotions. Sahriday connects with the creative artists. And Sahridays are those who can connect themselves with the creative artists. The characteristics of Sahriday are sensitivity, samvedansilta, which is very important. Only sensitive person can understand poetry or literature, music, dance. Without sensitivity, art would become meaningless. And that is why it is said in Sanskrit that, O God, just send me when I read a poem, let me meet such a person who is sensitive, rasikjan. Otherwise, I will be completely unhappy. Sensitivity is very necessary in literature, in poetry, in poetics, and in Sahriday. Appreciativeness. To appreciate poetry or literary work is the true function of a critic. Unfortunately, we take critic as one who finds faults. It is not the duty of the critic to find faults only. The duty of the critic is to appreciate the work of art and in a sensitive manner, with a profound empathy, he should experience the same feelings and express his views about the work of art. He must have imaginative power. Without imaginative power, a critic or Saradaya cannot experience what the creative artist has experienced. And there is a creator like the artist. Saradaya is also a creator like the artist. Actually, he is another creator. Bhavak or Saradaya is creator number 2. Poet is creator number 1. But he is Saradaya is one who passes on the same way, experiences the same thing. And like a creative artist, he also undertakes a creative journey, recreates and relives the experiences and emotions. And a Saradaya is one who recreates and relives. He lives again or recreates the experiences and emotions. He is a sympathetic spectator. A Saradaya, as a spectator of a drama, is very sympathetic. He sympathizes with the hero, with the characters, and experiences the same emotions of the performer, the actor or the actresses. And his mind is like a mirror where the feelings and thoughts of the creative artists are reflected. He is intellectual also. He should not be merely sensitive. He should be intellectual also. He must be well versed and well read. A Saradaya is one who has good knowledge. He is a well read. He must have read a lot of literature. Without reading literature, for example, if you want to understand poetry properly, you must have read thousands of poems. It is not easy to understand poetry without experiencing poetry by reading. Reading is very necessary. One must have the experience of reading. The more you read, the better you understand, the better you feel. And that is why Saradaya should be well versed and well read. And Saradaya has Parakaya Pravesha. This concept is very important. Parakaya Pravesha is entering the body of another person. This means that you enter as a Saradaya, you enter the heart, enter the body of the creative artist. You live like the artist. You experience the feelings of the artist, the emotions of the artist, and you feel that you are the artist himself. The artist is not different from you. You enter his heart, you enter his body. This is called Parakaya Pravesha, entering the body of another person. Knowledge of Shastras. In Indian culture, the knowledge of Shastras is very important because it consists of all kinds of knowledge, quick understanding, and Saradaya should have quick understanding. T.S. Eliot says that objective and impersonal experience is very important. When a creative artist writes, he should not express his personal sorrow or personal feelings, but they should be impersonal and objective. They become universal, they become eternal, and they become quite objective. This idea is very important because poetry does not mean that you can express your own feelings. When a poet talks about sorrow, it is not merely his sorrow, but the sorrow of the entire mankind. Sorrow is a common experience of all human beings. There is nobody in the world who has never experienced sorrow. So T.S. Eliot says that it is necessary to be objective and impersonal in writing. And the same thing happens to Sarodaya also. He experiences sorrow, but it is not his personal sorrow. It is impersonal sorrow, the sorrow of the entire humanity, entire mankind. Artistic experience and aesthetic delight. Aesthetic delight is achieved by a true Sahradaya, and he possesses Sthai Bhavas and create Rasanubhava. A Sahradaya is one who has powerful Sthai Bhavas. Though they are dormant, they are very powerful, and when he undergoes the experiences of different kinds of vibhava, sanchari bhava, anubhava, rasa is created and he experiences the sthai bhavas profoundly. Rasik means connoisseur who appreciates music, art and dance. Rasik Jan is called connoisseur who appreciates music, art and dance. Sahradaya is genuine bhavak who is highly sensitive. Sahradaya is similar to creative artist. Samajika is a participant viewer. This is a repetition of the ideas of Sahradaya and Samajika. Samajika is a participant viewer who experiences Sthai Bhavas with the help of Vibhavas, Anubhavas and Sanchari Bhavas. And he experiences the feeling of the performer. So, Sadharanikaran is generalization in the experience of poetical work, and Sadharanikaran is generalization. It is a common experience of the poetical work created by the artist. So the artist and the bhavak experience the same thing. The theory of catharsis can apply to it. Aristotle has presented the theory of catharsis when on the stage, in the drama, in the tragedy, the emotions of pity and fear are presented. The bhavak, the reader, the spectator, audience experiences these emotions of pity and fear, and they are purified. They pass through their hearts and they become wiser and tranquil in mind. When you pass through certain emotions, your mind is filtered, it becomes happy, you become calm, you become silent, you become gentle, and you experience inner happiness. Spectators identify themselves with the characters, experiences their feelings. And we know that when we watch drama, we identify ourselves with the characters and experience their feelings. Elements of Sadharanikarana are as follows: Sahradayata, Sahradaya, Bhava, Abhivyanjana, Sandesha, that is message, Sarani, channel, Rasavadan, Doshas, Sandarbha and Pratikriya. Pratikriya is response, not reaction but response. There are 4 levels of bhavas in expression. Para, that is unconscious mind. Pashyanti, to the conscious mind. Madhyama, at the level of presentation of external mind. And Vaikhari, the word spoken out by the sender on perceivable form. And there are 4 levels of rasa. Sravana, that is hearing. Manana, contemplation, thinking. Nididhyasan, brooding over, pondering over, thinking over. And sakshatakara, realization. Feedback is given by the receiver, which is called pratikriya. And when a feedback response is given by the receiver, it is called pratikriya. It is also called sanchara yoga. In Indian poetics, it is called sanchara yoga. And sanchara yoga means the yoga of communication. So with this, we end our lecture, video lecture. Today we discussed topics in detail. I recommend you to read more reference books, and it will be helpful to you to understand these concepts properly. So thank you very much. Namaskar. I am very happy that I had detailed conversation, detailed communication on different subjects of Indian poetics through video lecture. Though we do not meet directly, we communicate. And communication is important in human life. Without communication, we cannot become true samajik human beings. Thank you very much. Thank you.
स्वाध्यायः